What's up, YouTube fam? Let's talk about TREY, y'all. Let's talk about it. Because it seemed like nobody else is talking about it, which is very, very strange. Now, we just recently had Charlie Kirk unalived. A lot of controversy, a lot of racial tension. You know, everybody's arguing. Everybody's so divided, which is part of their plan. Y'all know I say the Mossad unalived Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to stand by that. Shout out to Candace Owens, too, for pointing that out. Shout out to Myron Gaines for pointing that out. You know, shout out to everybody that's starting to see it. Shout out to Stevie Knight, bruh. Stevie Knight is actually even talking about it. And, you know, he really don't do that type of political stuff. So that's big. The Great Awakening is happening. But let's get on topic now. We have a young man, an African-American man, black man. He was hanging from a tree in Mississippi. This happened, I can't remember the date. I suck, that's terrible. I should know the date right off the top of my head. Like, I've been studying this story for at least a week before I even spoke on it. But it's time for me to break my silence. I don't know the exact date, and I'm ashamed of it. But his name was TREY. And from what I understand, there's been investigations about what happened, and they're saying that there was no foul play. They're saying he wasn't hung by nobody. It wasn't no like racist white thing, because that's something that people did back in the day. For some of you younger people that don't know, they had a thing called lynching, where like racist white folks, they would take a black person that they didn't like, whatever, and then they would hang them from a tree. Sometimes they'll poke them with pitchforks. They would just basically torture a person. Or sometimes it'll just be like a public execution for whatever they say he did. You know, it was called lynching. It was an illegal practice. It was basically like doing a court outside of a court building. And yeah, hanging people from trees was one of the main things that they did during lynchings. And Mississippi is one of the most racist states, or one of the most known racist states throughout history, from slavery to Jim Crow to any time during segregation. Mississippi has been notorious for being one of the worst. So when you see a young black person hanging from a fucking tree in Mississippi, honestly, the first thing you're gonna think, including myself, I'm like, nah, something happened. Somebody did that to him. Well, they're saying it was a suicide, meaning he unalived himself. So there's two things that's happening. This is where I get very, very confused. For one, I'm like, I want to know what happened to him. They said that there was cameras. I'm really, really skeptical, because they say that there was cameras. Why didn't they catch? Why aren't they releasing any footage? Again, this is very similar to the Epstein shit. I know it's big difference, but it's similar in the fact that the way they're reporting it and the way the news is talking about it just doesn't seem real. Something doesn't seem right. Just like when the girl got stabbed on the train by the black dude, and then the Charlie Kirk unalived. Now we got a young black dude who was a college student being hung from a tree. So I mean, come on, y'all. Am I crazy? Y'all, please, like, somebody help me out. Am I the only person that's seeing a very strange pattern? So it's either two things. Either these things are all really just coincidentally happening. Just happens, all these tragic things are just happening at the same time, coincidentally. Or somebody's behind this. Again, y'all, I'm not going to make this a big Israeli, Mossad, Zionist conspiracy theory video, but I almost can't fucking help it. It's like, it doesn't seem real. For one, okay, let's say it was a hanging. Let's say it was like some white folks that lynched him. You know, it makes sense. It's like, damn, he was a black dude. He was hanging from a tree in Mississippi. This is right at the peak of all this racial tension, you know, with Charlie Kirk and all this blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe some white people did do something to him. And if that was the case, why wouldn't they just release it? If that's what really happened, and just show us, like, yeah. Because think about it, that's part of their agenda, right? I mean, you know, like they want it to be something racial. They want it to be based off racism and lynching, so that they can push this racial tension. Again, you know, this whole racial agenda of everybody hating each other and blacks hate whites and white people hate blacks and just everybody's hating each other. Everybody's so racist. Yeah, that's part of the agenda. So why wouldn't they just go ahead and prove it? Like, yeah, it was some white folks that did it and that's it. But now it's like they're trying to cover it up. I'm like, why would they cover it up then? So did he actually commit suicide? And if he did commit suicide, that's very tragic. And I want to know what led him to commit suicide. So I guess Colin Kaepernick, the football player, or former football player. I don't really know his status these days, but you know, he's kind of a grifter and a clown. I'm not a big fan of Colin Kaepernick because, you know, when he first was doing the kneeling during the anthem, I'm like, yeah, that's right, black man. You know, just like most people, this is pre-2020. You know, this is like pre-COVID. And then shortly after, like during all the Black Lives Matter, y'all know, when I started doing my research and really learning who was really behind these agendas, I said, man, fuck Colin Kaepernick. He's a fucking clown. He's a fucking drifter. He's another paid puppet. But one thing I do like about Colin Kaepernick right now, even though I'm not a big fan of him because he's such a fucking puppet, is that I will say he's trying to have his own private investigation. He's getting like a what's it called, an independent autopsy, where he's trying to, you know, like investigate what happened to the body. And I think that's a good thing. So shout out to Colin for that. I mean, if his intentions is legit and he's really just trying to find out the truth of what happened to this young man, then I support that all the way. I think we do need an investigation. Everybody should be really concerned. Like, where's the camera footage? What happened? And I'm not demanding answers. I'm not demanding answers because I want it to be something racist, because I want it to be proven that it was some white folks that did it. Or, no, honestly, I want answers. I'm demanding answers because I want to know what the fuck happened. Did he commit suicide? Because if he committed suicide, then that's very sad. That's very, very tragic. And I want to know what led this young man to doing that. After being accepted in school and all this stuff, it just doesn't seem right. And if it was like some racist white folks that lynched him, then I want to know who it was and what their agenda was. So again, the fact that they're not releasing anything, the fact that they're just kind of leaving us in the dark, it's almost like they want us to argue. This is proving my point over and over and over and over again. They want us to argue. They want us to fight. They want us to speculate. They want us to be like, nah, it was some racist white folks. No, he killed himself. And I honestly, bro, I think somebody is hired to do these killings, bro. I got to watch my words. I think somebody's out here unaliving people. That's honestly what I think. Honestly, y'all. I mean, think about it. Think about it really, really hard, y'all. Really, really think about this. You know, all this tragic stuff happening. From the girl getting stabbed on the bus to Charlie Kirk being unalived and blah, blah, blah. Now we got some young black dude hanging from a tree in Mississippi, of all places. And they have no camera footage. So they're not proving whether it was white supremacy or any type of like racial lynching. And they're not proving that it was suicide. They're just purposely kind of like just leaving us in the dark. Why are they leaving us in the dark? I mean, think about this, y'all. Am I crazy or what? Like, it's something weird happening. It's something very, very strange. And not only that, there was another young man. I wouldn't say young man. I think he was an older man. He was a homeless guy, a white guy. And his name was Corey Zukatis. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, man. I apologize. I haven't yet heard anybody really pronounce the name right. But his name was Corey Zukatis. And he was found unalived from a tree too. He was hanging from a tree, like not too far from that. So something just seems very strange, y'all. I don't know, y'all. Like, I know I'm not bugging. It's something strange going on. Definitely something weird going on. Why would a young black man hang himself in Mississippi, of all places, right after getting accepted in school? And if it was something racial or some racist shit involved, why don't they just release it? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, this is the same shit. Yeah, and we haven't forgot about Epstein too. I'm gonna say that. I know that's off topic, but we have not forgot about the Jeffrey Epstein shit. Another thing, it's funny how all this shit is happening right around September 11th, right after they try to cover up the Epstein files. It's like they're just covering it up. If y'all seen the whole Charlie Kirk memorial, listen, man, I know this is about TREY, but I gotta keep addressing the big elephant in the room. Oh, at the